Hello. We're at the main branch of the San Francisco Public Library right now with Cary Latham. Thank you for being with us, Cary. Can you tell us what your involvement is with the San Francisco Public Library?
So I am a peer outreach worker with the HASA program.
What does HASA stand for?
HASA stands for Health and Safety Associate.
And how did that program start?
The program started approximately 10 years ago when a full-time social worker was hired at the library, and she started a program to bring in people who have lived experience with substance misuse, homelessness, mental health challenges, and to kind of work directly with patrons who may need that sort of assistance.
What kind of programs have been developed for the homeless population?
Off the top of my head, the first one I can think of is a program called Homeroom, which is sort of just a community building event where a group of people kind of meet up and have, pastries and coffee and just kind of hang out. And then there's usually, some type of fun thing to do, whether it's do some artwork or, meditation or something like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's many other programs. That's just one that I'm thinking of. Another big program is what we call the Pop-Up Care Village, which is something that happens outside every 2 months, where a lot of resources and people come together and just to kind of create a community building and sort of like event. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
With your job at the library, it seems like the San Francisco Public Library is very tolerant and understanding of its homeless users. Are other libraries in the U.S. following your lead?
As far as I know, there's been a pretty good shift in the last several years. Other libraries are starting programs like the one here. Mm-hmm. Pretty sure San Francisco was the first. But it is... it's a perfect fit. Libraries are great places that anyone can use. Mm-hmm. So there's no real gatekeeping or all the structural stuff that happens to keep people out. Right. Library, yeah.
Would you say that libraries function not only as a facilitating resource, but also as a sort of social service?
Yeah, I would say that. I will also say that libraries are hesitant to say that they are a social service resource, mm-hmm. because there is a lot of that happening in the community, and there are places that are better equipped to deal with some of the challenges that show up mm-hmm. in the community than a library.
Have you had any funny or special experiences regarding the attendance of animals in the library?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's one of the things I love about working in a library is that you see a lot of animals. The best so far was a 4-foot-long iguana that was just kind of riding on some guy's shoulder, and he walked in with it, and it looked like it was a dinosaur. It looked like it came out of a different world. Wow. Yeah, that was definitely a highlight. He let us all pet it.
You pet iguanas?
Oh yeah, yeah. It's like almost like plastic feeling. It's really strange.
Can we scroll the? Thank you. That's perfect. Okay. How are the policies decided in regards to the library's more vulnerable patrons?
That's a big question. My understanding is that policies, I have no idea. Mm-hmm. I'm not even going to try to touch that one.
No worries. What systems are in place to prevent vandalism in the facilities?
Well, there is a full, I guess they're called grounds and patrol group, otherwise known as, security. And they operate at almost all of the branches and are kind of sort of surveilling and keeping an eye on things to, to make sure things like vandalism and real dangerous stuff doesn't happen.
Right.
Yeah.
What systems are in place to prevent vandalism in the facilities?
So there are security in the library. Certainly in this library, there is a very strong security presence because this library sees the most use, and there is the chance that some sort of vandalism could happen. Yeah.
What kind of special programs have been developed for the homeless population that come to the library?
Well, we have what's called Pop-Up Care Village, which I spoke of earlier, which is it's a really kind of big event where many different sort of nonprofit organizations and just kind of community building activist types come together to try to support folks, and then another program is actually this program that I work for is, yeah.
What kind of training have you received for your position now at the San Francisco Public Library?
So the most important training that all of the people that do my job get is lived experience. It's having had used, the systems in San Francisco to try to pull their lives together. And then many of the people who I work with, myself included, have had lived experience with homelessness. And so these kind of things are really invaluable teachers because it creates, it gets rid of the separation between myself and the other. There is no Cary and the homeless, and I think that is one of the most important trainings that we get. I have also gone ahead and gotten a certificate through San Francisco City College, which is a community mental health certificate. So that is another training. But then the job is structured where once a month we have pretty serious trainings. And so there's kind of like ongoing on-the-job training as well.
Could you speak to how, in your personal experience working at the San Francisco Public Library, you've seen the increased accessibility of knowledge impact people who are living in disadvantaged situations?
Yeah. One thing I'll say about the library system being so inclusive and kind of open to anyone that, people who have some serious, challenges or who have been through some serious stuff can come here and have the same amount of access to the resources, that anyone else would. So, yeah, I hope, does that?
What kind of special programs have been developed for the homeless population that come to these facilities?
So there's a couple that come to mind. The first is what we call homeroom. Homeroom is a once a month sort of community event where we just, it's very simple, sit down, have coffee, have a snack, and there's activities, some kind of art stuff or meditation or just something that helps build community and is welcome to people who don't have much access to the community stuff.
What kind of feedback do you have from the patrons regarding the openness and tolerance within this library system?
I think that it's all positive, because we live in very, challenging times where there really aren't very many places that people can go that are safe, where there isn't you don't have to buy something or you don't have to look a certain way, So libraries generally are very much appreciated from a very diverse group of patrons.
How do you see the library becoming more accessible in the future? Have you seen programs that are being developed that might make it even more accessible to the San Francisco population?
Yeah, I think the library is doing a wonderful job now. But if there were more programs, sort of linkage, to help people connect with other support service, resources in the city, that would be a huge, I think, positive thing.
Is there anything that you want to add that we haven't touched on yet?
Nothing extra, but I did want to just express my, gratitude for the library to sort of have the guts to start a program like the HASA program. I think it's hugely important to have a very diverse, employee base, and one of the challenges with people who have had, lived experience with mental health stuff or homelessness or substance abuse stuff is a real sort of feeling of being, excluded. And the library has really done a great job to sort of allow us to use our sort of street skill and as a way to really help folks. And the relationship is very symbiotic where the people in the program I work for really appreciate it and really kind of grow a lot, while being able to serve and work. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Cary.